Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello students, how are you today? I hope you are always in good conditions, yeah? So in this meeting, in this special occasion, I would like to deliver a material about conditional sentence. But before we go to the lesson, I would like to ask you, who knows conditional sentence here? Raise your hands please. Okay, because no one raises their hand, so I will just explain it. So let's begin with the first material, that is definition of conditional sentence. So a conditional sentence is a type of sentence that expresses one situation as a condition for the occurrence of another situation. And conditional sentence can be expressed as if this, then that. Okay, let's move to the types of conditional sentence. There are four types of conditional sentence. The first one is conditional sentence type 0. The use of this conditional sentence is the first one is to express universal truth. And then the second one is to express the obvious things. And then the third one is to express the facts. And then the fourth one is to express the cause and consequences. So let's move to the structure of this conditional sentence. So the structure is if plus present simple. You might be familiar with the simple present tense, and then plus present simple again. For the example, if you freeze water, it turns to ice. And then the second example, if you sweat too much, you dehydrate. And then the third one is if you heat ice, it melts. Yeah, those are the examples of conditional sentence itself. Type 1, type 0. Type 0. Okay, so let's move to the conditional sentence type 1. The use of this conditional sentence is to express predictions. And then the second one is to express promises. And then the third one is to express a possibility and to express the cause and consequences too. But this conditional sentence is real, or maybe it happened. So let's take a look at the structure of this first type of conditional sentence. The structure is if plus present simple plus future simple. Remember, we use future simple here. Will or modals plus blah 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 plus infinitive. Do you remember? Okay, I hope you still remember, yeah? Okay, for the example of the first type of conditional sentence is if I find his address, I will send him an invitation. Yeah, he might find his address, and then after that he will send him an invitation. That is the meaning, yeah? And then the second one, if you study hard, you will pass your exam. Yeah, it may be happened. And then the third one, if I find a girl this summer, I will marry her. Yeah, this also might be happened. Okay, so the next type of conditional sentence is conditional sentence type 2. The use of this type of conditional sentence is the first one to express hypotheses, and then the second one to express unlikely situations, and then the third one to express unreal situations, and the fourth one is to give advice. So this is unreal situations, and this is not real, it's not happen actually. Let's take a look at the structure of this conditional sentence type 2. The structure is if plus past simple. You know, past simple is the sentence type of sentence which masa lampau, it means like that. And then and we use verb to. Yeah, you remember? Okay, and then conditional sentence, conditional, it means that would plus infinitive. Yeah, just like that. Let's take a look at the examples of this type. So the first example is if it rained, you would get wet. Yeah, if it rained, you would get wet. But actually, the reality, it's not rained, so you wouldn't get wet. So that is the meaning of conditional sentence type 2. The next example is, if she felt, she would hurt herself. If she felt, she would hurt herself. And then the third one, if you went to bed earlier, you wouldn't be so tired. Yeah, it means that you didn't go to bed earlier, so you would be so tired. Yeah, that is the meaning. So this is not happening, or it's not the reality like that. Let's move to the next type, that is a conditional sentence type 3. So the use of conditional sentence type 3 is to express regret about a situation in the past, and then hypothesis about the past, and then theoretical past situation, and an impossible situation because it had already happened. Yeah, the key is it had already happened, so it is the past timing, or in the past time. Let's take a look at the structure of this conditional sentence. The structure is if plus past perfect. Past perfect, it means that had plus verb 2. Had plus verb 3, and then plus conditional perfect. The structure is would plus have plus verb 3. And then the example of this is, if she had worked harder, she would have passed the exam. Now, if she, the meaning is if it's not the real, you know that if she had worked harder, if yesterday she had worked harder, she would have passed the exam. But the reality is not. And then the second one, if you had driven carefully, you wouldn't have had an accident. But the reality, you have had an accident. Yeah, that is the meaning. And then the third one, if we had taken a taxi, we wouldn't have missed the plane. But the reality, we have missed the plane. Yeah, that is conditional sentence type 3. Okay, students, do you understand about my explanations? I hope you have understood, yeah? So let's move to the questions. Let's practice it together. The first question is, if you cook vegetables for a long time, they blah 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 lose their nutrition. So what is your answer? Please just write down your answer in your notebook, and then we will correct them. And yeah, I will give you 3 seconds for the answer. 1, 2, 3. Okay, what is your answer? Okay, so the answer of the first question is lose. Yeah, A. Why? Because this is the kind of zero conditional sentence. Conditional sentence type 0. Why? Because in the first or in the main clause, in the subordinate clause, if you cook vegetables for a long time, yeah, this sentence use simple present, right? But in the main clause, they blah 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 their nutritions. Yeah, it must be like use the simple present too, right? So the answer is lose, A. This is the type of zero conditional sentence. So let's move to the second questions. If I blah 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 my assignment tonight, I will go to mall with my family. Okay, the second is, have you found the answer? Okay, finish. The second answer is finish. Yeah, the A, yang A, finish. If I finish my assignment tonight, I will go to mall with my friends. Why? It's because in the main clause, this is use the future tense, which is the future tense used in conditional sentence in the first type of conditional sentence, right? So the first conditional sentence must be the pattern must be like if, and then present, and then future tense, right? So the answer is A. So let's move to the third questions. I will never lend to you if I blah 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 before. Have you found the answer? Okay, the answer is C, new. Why? Because here the first sentence or the main clause is I would never lend. Would never. Would plus would never lend. Would plus verb want. It means that this is the second type of conditional sentence, right? And then if the pattern of the main clause is like that, it must be the second type, and then the pattern of the subordinate clause must be with the past verb or with the verb to. So the best answer here is new, C. Write that. Okay, do you understand? I hope you understand. And then the fourth one is if we blah 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 earlier, we would have reached schools. Okay, the first step is we also must take a look at the main clause, that is we would have reached schools. It means that this is the conditional sentence type 3. Why? Because in the sentence the main clause used would plus present perfect, have reached. So the subordinate clause must be with the past perfect. So the pattern of past perfect must be we had woken up. Yeah, so the answer is D. Okay, so that's all for conditional sentence. And have you understood? So I hope you understand about these materials, yeah? So if you are still confused or you have any questions, please just feel free to ask in the WhatsApp group, or you can just PC me. So just ask. Okay, so thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.